Okay, hello, what's up? This is a Gravekeepers Exodia deck. We're using Grampa's cards to add the 5 pieces of Exodia to a Gravekeeper deck. Here are the right leg, the left leg, all that stuff for the Forbidden One. And then we're going to go back to the deck list. What we got is 3 Gravekeeper Spies, a Gravekeeper Recruiter, 1 Descendant, 1 Guard, 2 Headman, 2 Noblemen, 2 Spiritualist, 2 Necrovalley Thrones, and then 3 Necrovalleys. A Wall of D, 1 Rite of Spirit, and then 1 Necrovalley Temple. Then we have the 3 Quintet, 3 Supernaturalist. So the idea of this deck is not to get Exodia on the field. The idea of the deck is adaptability. So we have Gravekeeper Spy who can flip to summon a monster from your deck, a Gravekeeper monster. And then we have Nobleman, who is once destroyed by battle, will bring a monster that you can set onto the field. So the idea is to stall if you cannot get your Quintet or Supernaturalist on the field. Necrovalley stops graveyard effects. Spiritualist will fusion summon. I'm not using a polymerization or magicalized fusion to get the boss monsters out, because that would, having the 5 pieces of Exodia on top of this 20 card deck list can cause some starting hand opener problems. But with the adaptability of Spy, Nobleman, and Throne, with Headman, you are going to be able to search, and Recruiter, you can search almost any card, and then you can use Descendant and Rite of Spirit with Headman to clear the field without needing Quintet or Supernaturalist. It's very... Gravekeepers are adaptable as it is, but with Grampa's cards and having the 5 pieces of Exodia, it is just... it's crazy. You can stall if you can't beat over a monster to get Exodia. You can stall to deck them out because you have the 5 extra cards. You can do a lot of stuff, and I'm going to show you with this video. If you hate Yubel, you're going to love this video.
It's time to Duel!
I want to reiterate that not every duel is meant to bring out Exodia. Exodia is meant for decks, or for duels that stalling is pretty much the only way you're going to win. A lot of times it happened before when I had a full Gravekeeper deck and I needed to bring out Quintet, and if Quintet was negated in any way somehow, I would probably lose, or a deck out or whatnot. So Exodia is meant for, if you're going to deck out, you're not going to lose. But anyways, we're against Shadow Game Yami Merrick. We didn't open with any pieces of Exodia despite the skill, which is actually good for the most part. You will see in other duels that opening with 2 or 3 pieces of Exodia is still not a bad hand. Like, yeah, you can brick. You can, because if you have like 3 Necrovalleys and a trap or something like that, it's not going to work very well. But I'm able to get Draining Shield out. I got a Nobleman on field with Descendant. He Karibos, doesn't get hurt. Shadow Game hurts himself though. It hurts me, but it will hurt himself. He's using a stall deck, obviously, a burn deck. That's why he's using Shadow Game. I have 2 pieces of Exodia, but I'm using Descendant to pop off what he has. But Wing Karibo is still activated due to being destroyed, regardless of battle or card effect. I have Headman in my game. Shadow Game hurts me for 400 life points. That's pretty much all I've been happening to me so far. He T-sets, loses 400 life points from Shadow Game. I got Necrovalley, he cannot use any cards in his graveyard anymore. I used Descendant to pop his back row, which is Windstorm of... I don't know how to pronounce that. The Windstorm, he puts me in defense mode, but because I haven't summoned, I can go back into attack mode. I summon Headman, set Spy. I use Descendant's effect on Headman and attack directly. It was a Kisatai. And then Shadow Game hurts me. I purposely set Spy so that Shadow Game will take him out, because I hate burn decks and he needs a taste of his own medicine. So there. Got Grampa's cards coming on against... we don't know. So I've got 1 piece of Exodia, Temple, Spy, and Wall of D. He's using Darklords. Ooh. He uses Banishment, uses that one. Sets a card. So I set Spy and my 2 trap cards in my hand. I got Recruiter in my hand from drawing into it. I now have Necrovalley. He cannot use any card in his graveyard. Hopefully that face down is not that trap. That's limited to 1. I use Descendant to destroy the back row, which is Wall of D, and summon Recruiter. Attack it directly. He's got 300, and he forfeits. So, suck on it, Darklords. Mind scan, I knew it. Because I had this duel, so that's how I knew. So I opened with no pieces of Exodia, but 2 traps, and I set Spy, set all the traps, set everything. He uses Polymerization on the first turn to use Supernaturalist. He is also using a Gravekeeper deck, so this is a mirror match, but he does not know what I'm using yet. So I have somewhat of an advantage. He attacks into my Wall of D, hurts himself for 1700 because of Spy. Spy searches for Descendant. Special summon it. Supernaturalist adds a Necrovalley Throne to his hand. Shuffles his deck. And then I get to pull a Recruiter, summon it, put Spy in attack mode, destroy Supernaturalist, destroy Headman, and that's it. That is the mirror match of... This is going to be a good duel. We got Yubel against Yugimoto. So let's see how Yubel does against Gravekeeper Exodia. This Gravekeepers of Exodia, as I'm probably going to title this. I rank up if I go up. I believe this is mid-platinum. Platinum is just a lot of fun. Anyways, I got 2 pieces of Exodia in my hand, and Guard and Nobleman. Yubel sets 2 back row, fires a Doomsday to summon Yubel. I put down Guard, throw Yubel back into her hand. Got 3 pieces of Exodia. Set a card, Snipe Hunters, it's Yubel to destroy my face down, which is Nobleman, and uses Limit Reverse to summon Yubel back onto the field. Yubel's effect happens, a lot of stuff's going on, Limit Reverse, put its defense mode to destroy it, to summon Terror Incarnate, wipe my field, use Recruiter to send it back in my hand. Or not back, but then I rip into a Necrovalley, which is perfect. Yubel destroys, wipes the field. He uses Rebirth and that thing. And then destroys its own card with Yubel. My cards are destroyed. Nephthys, the Phoenix card, the Ritual Phoenix card's in the graveyard. I T-set. And my turn. And then he tries to use the effect, I believe, right now after he draws. Yes, but it's negated because Necrovalley's on the field, if they couldn't tell. Incarnate's effect happens, destroys my Descendant. I draw into the 4th piece of Exodia. His head, his body. And I leave the field wide open because I'm not going to set or summon any of those. Because I guess that he can't do anything. See, Yubel's a stall deck. If they can't get their Ritual Beats to wipe your back row and OTK you, you can't do anything. Anyways, I set a card, use Throne to get Spiritualist into my hand because Spiritualist will let me summon Supernaturalist. So I use Rite of Spirit to bring Guard back onto the field, summon Spiritualist, who will then let me fusion summon Supernaturalist, and Supernaturalist, while on the field with Necrovalley, cannot be destroyed by card effects, and neither can Necrovalley's. So I am good against Yubel. I use his effect to start thinning my deck. I pull a Temple from his effect, and my turn. Yubel can't clean me off the field. I set a card. I use his effect to get a Throne into my hand at the end of the turn. Still thinning the deck. I want that 5th piece of Exodia. That's what I'm doing right now. I can't do anything. I can't attack. I can't destroy that monster. If I do, he summons a stronger card that will defeat me. So I use my Throne to thin the deck even more. Have a Spiritualist in my hand. Have a Headman in my hand. I summon Spiritualist. So I can summon a second Supernaturalist for extra protection. Just in case. Who knows what could happen. Here is my second Supernaturalist, who also cannot be destroyed by card effects with Necrovalley on the field. But I can only use one Supernaturalist effect a turn, so I can't keep thinning my deck for Exodia. I can just do it once. And I do that with Necrovalley, just in case it's destroyed. I want an extra backup one. It is my turn. I draw into my 3rd Necrovalley, set a card, use Supernaturalist to thin the deck even more. It's a Nobleman. That's the last card I can draw because the very last card in the deck is the last Forbidden One piece of Exodia. He destroys my face down, which is Headman, discards his own card, Fire King Island. I draw.
I've assembled all 5 special cards, all 5 pieces of the puzzle. Exodia, obliterate!
Gravekeepers are not always the best at being a heavy hitting deck. You can get Quintet and wipe the field, sure, 100%, but when it comes to consistently having that card, it's a different thing. So he summons Swordsman, Silent Swordsman level 3, uses Silent Sword Slash. I use Throne, set a card. He gets rid of Slash to get Silent Swordsman, I don't know why I said slash. Silent Swordsman level 5, uses Silent Sword Slash on it again to boost it up to 3800. Brings level 7 into his hand from his deck. Summons a Dark Blade, I believe that's the card's name. Pulls the Silent Swordsman into his hand. Then he will tribute off Dark Blade to summon Silent Swordsman, attack into my Spy. Spy will then search and summon Nobleman onto the field, and then he attacks into Nobleman for whatever reason. I throw up a Necrovalley. I forgot that Silent Swordsman also negates one spell a turn, just like Silent Magician. I did forget that because I never play against it. I do have Silent Swordsman, but never really use it. He attacks into my second Nobleman. I get to set a guard, so I can flip up a card with a high attack back into their hand. So I flip up his level 5 Silent Swordsman. Once he attacks into me, I then set another card. Silent Swordsman boosts his attack even farther, attaches Caliber into it, gains life points, attacks into my Recruiter, which lets me search for a Spiritualist from my deck and put it in my hand. I then get to set a card. I pulled an Exodia head. That's pretty cool. He is now at 4,500 attack and summons another monster, attacks into my Nobleman so I can set a Spy. And his Silent Swordsman attacks in Spiritualist, which can't do anything because I don't have Necrovalley on the field. I pull a second piece of Exodia, summon Descendant, flip Spy to summon a Headman, use Descendant's effect to destroy Headman and Silent Swordsman. Silent Swordsman uses his effect along with Beckoning Light. Excuse me. Beckoning Light sends monsters, or something sends monsters, I don't know what's going on. Something sends monsters into his graveyard, and he pulls cards from his hand, or into it. Discard your entire hand, then for each card, draw, or something like that. So that's what happened. Then I just use Descendant on his other card to destroy it. He summons Silent Swordsman 3, then Silent Swordsman, and his other Noble Arms monster destroys my field. Wipes me out. I draw the third piece of Exodia, summon Headman, which lets me special summon Spy onto the field. I'm allowing this. I have 500 attack, and I know that I'm going to get a lot of life point damage, which actually isn't that bad. I don't know why I did that. Because I wanted Spy on the field so I could send another monster from my graveyard or from my deck into the field so I don't get OTK'd. I set a monster, set a trap, it's Walla D. I'll wipe out all of his attack points. He loses 1500 from that. I got full field. I pull the Rite of Spirit. He uses send one Dark Warrior from your hand to the graveyard, add one Light Warrior type to your hand, which he thinks is going to help. Silent Swordsman keeps increasing. I set down my spirits. He uses his Draw Sense, spell and trap. Silent Swordsman increases his attack. He attacks into Spiritualist. I draw the fourth piece of Exodia. I've Rite of Spirit face down in case I don't have a field anymore.
The card I pulled is Exodia the Forbidden One. Hellfire's Rage! Exodo Flame!
And 2 duels in a row. When you are going against this kind of deck, he plays his normal Ancient Gear plays. You need Necrovalley and you need Supernaturalist, or you're going to lose. Luckily, I pulled Spiritualist, Spiritualist, so I could summon Supernaturalist with Spy and Spiritualist. I have 2 pieces of Exodia. I attack into his face down Wyvern. I use Supernaturalist effect to pull Throne, just in case Supernaturalist is destroyed. But it cannot be destroyed by card effects. And the thing is, he's about to summon Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, which will destroy a card. He attacks into me, destroys himself, loses 300 life points, and then he can't destroy his he can't destroy Necrovalley because Supernaturalist negates the destruction effect. So anyways, I set a card. You saw that. I pulled a Nobleman into my hand. He summons Wyvern, pulls a Ancient Gear Reborn, which will do nothing thanks to Necrovalley on the field, into his hand. Ends his turn, doesn't do anything. So I pull a second Nobleman, flip over Spy, send his card into the hand, and he forfeits. That's what you do with Ancient Gears. Ancient Gears suck if you can get the right card going. Get negated, Ancient Gears. Get slapped. If you don't pull that, you're probably going to lose Ancient Gears. Like, if they set it up perfectly first turn, you lose. And finally, for this final part of this video, we have Seto Kaiba with a full-on Blue Eyes deck. Now, I know this is an Exodia deck, technically. And I only have 2 Exodia plays. I'm going to spoil it. This is not an Exodia play. But I am definitely going to make more of this. Because this is only in Platinum. And I want to see how far I can get next season. Whatever it's called. See if I can get to Legend, if I can get to King Games. I've never got King Games before, so it's probably not going to happen. Anyways, I use Throne, set a card. Get a card in my hand, set Temple, I believe that was. Flip over Spy, he's got 4 set down cards. He econs my Spy, which I was not expecting. So I bring Descendant. I was going to pop off some of his cards. Bring Descendant to my hand. I end my turn. He used Dawn Knight to bring Whitestone Legend into his graveyard. Oh no, I don't end my turn, sorry. I used Throne to bring Headman, because Headman, I know now that I saw Dawn Knight, I know, and Whitestone, I know he is going to wipe my field with a bunch of blue ice cards, so I have to bring Headman back, so if I do survive, I can summon a monster. So he flips over his tuner, his Whitestone of Ancient Stone, whatever it's called, to bring out the Vermilion Mech Dragon, one of the most popular white cards. What are they called? Anyways, he uses white, banishes my temple, attacks into my monsters. He's got Cosmo Brain on the field now. Nobleman uses his effect to bring Spy. I was not expecting him to pop my Descendant and then attack into Nobleman. I thought my Nobleman was going to get popped. So I was very, very lucky. I summoned Headman to bring Descendant back. I used Descendant's effect to pop off Headman to destroy Vermilion Dragon Mech. Dragon Mech adds a banished card to his hand. It's a tuner. I flip over Spy to bring out Descendant. I used, to bring out Recruiter. I used Descendant's effect to destroy Cosmo Brain and a back row card, which is a Void Trap Hole. I then Recruiter's effect to search. I attack to the 1500 because I know what his skill is. I believe it says at the beginning. He sets a card. I then summon Headman to summon a Spy face down on purpose because I pop it off, use Rite of Spirit to bring a different Spy from the graveyard and attack directly with both cards. And that's how you defeat Blue Eyes. Not a Necrovalley. No Necrovalley needed. You can just defeat Blue Eyes with a Descendant. As long as they play stupid. Play dumb. Don't play dumb, boys and girls. Don't underestimate the Necrovalley Gravekeeper deck. That is it. There will be most likely a part 2 for this deck. I really like it. And that is, I never got this idea from anybody. I had the idea randomly one night. It's not a very good idea, but I had the idea myself. So technically it's original. And yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed. Stick around if you did for more Exodia Gravekeepers.
We get lost, we can get high. Because me gone, I feel alive. Anywhere, anyway, I will love you. We rule the world, just you and I. Just let me down, we walk the line. But now nothing's gone wrong, I'll take a shot for you. Give me